Right, so if your team runs the ILAAP, you know this one. Liquidity reporting lives in a dozen systems. LCR on a Monday, NSFR on a Tuesday, funding plan in PowerPoint on a Wednesday. Then the regulator wants one coherent document at the end of it all. This is what a single integrated ILAAP model looks like. LCR, NSFR, funding plan, stress scenarios, all in one workbook, all tied through. Let me walk you through it. Everything is open. No locked sheets, no VBA, no external add-ins. Your treasury team can own it. Finance can review it. Your regulator can walk through it. One dropdown runs the whole thing. Idiosyncratic, market-wide, combined. I flip it here, and every liquidity ratio, every buffer, every forecast recalculates at once. 30 quarters of projection, updated in a second. Every assumption lives on one sheet, not scattered through formulas downstream. Here, funding sources, tenors, runoff rates, asset liquidity categorizations, buffer composition, stress severities. Each parameter labeled, each driving a specific calculation. Which means when ALCO asks what happens if wholesale tenors shorten, you change the assumption, and the LCR, NSFR, and stress pieces all update at once, not separate files, immediate. The liquidity coverage ratio. HQLA in the numerator, 30-day net outflows in the denominator. Level 1. Level 2A with haircuts. Level 2B with haircuts and caps, calibrated to the regulation. Outflows split by stability bucket. Retail, operational wholesale, non-operational, secured. Each with its prescribed runoff rate. You get the LCR ratio for every one of 30 quarters. Live. If it drops below the regulatory minimum or your internal threshold, the model flags it. Net stable funding ratio. The one-year structural metric paired with LCR. Available stable funding on top. Capital, stable deposits, long-dated wholesale. Required stable funding below, assets weighted by liquidity profile. Each line carries its ASF or RSF factor per the regulation. 30 quarters of NSFR alongside LCR. So you can see your structural position evolving, not just the point-in-time picture. If pressure is building 2 years out, you see it now, while there's time to change the plan. Stress testing. 3 severities, calibrated to liquidity risk specifically. Deposit outflows, wholesale rollover failure, market illiquidity in your buffer. Survival horizon is the output your board wants. How many days can the bank meet obligations under combined stress before drawing on contingency funding? The model shows it, day by day, through 90 days. Next to it, the buffer composition. Level 1, 2A, 2B. Cash at central bank, undrawn committed lines. With counterbalancing capacity overlaid. The funding plan. 30 quarters of maturities, rollovers, new issuance by currency and tenor. Graphically obvious where the refinancing cliffs are. Asset encumbrance tracked alongside. Because the regulator cares about how much of your balance sheet is pledged and how much is genuinely available to raise cash against. And the contingency funding plan. Trigger levels, action menu, cost at each level. What you call first, what you draw second, what it costs you. Two-way sensitivity tables, deposit runoff against buffer composition, funding cost against NSFR ratio. The questions ALCO asks you on the spot. What breaks the LCR? What moves the survival horizon by a week? What it costs to hold an extra 5 points of buffer? Answered, live, in the meeting. Not, we'll come back to you. The integrity layer. Every reconciliation checked. LCR components sum correctly. Buffer composition stays above regulatory minimums. Maturities tie between the funding plan and the NSFR calculation. Encumbrance below ceiling. If any fails, master cell goes red. Honestly, if your team is running ILAAP out of 5 different spreadsheets and reconciling by hand each quarter, this is what you want. One file, full LCR and NSFR build, stress scenarios, survival horizon, funding plan, all traceable. It's on sfsmodels.com under ILAAP. Thanks for watching.